Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. Willow plots revenge against Jacinda, Michael's girlfriend in danger? Willow Tate might come to the conclusion that she wants Jacinda Bracken out of the picture for good. Is Michael Corinthos' new girlfriend about to find herself in serious peril, with Willow wanting to eliminate her competition? Jacinda and Michael's relationships becoming real. Jacinda has consented to pretend to be in a relationship with Michael to support his alibi, but it's becoming increasingly evident that genuine emotions are blossoming between them. Jacinda could very well change from Michael's fictitious girlfriend to his real partner if this pattern continues. Naturally, Willow felt quite disturbed when she spotted Michael enjoying the company of Jacinda and wily Corinthos at the Metro Court Gardens. The trio appeared almost like a cheerful little family, which may lead Willow to fear that she is being supplanted. Willow is fully aware that Michael is utilizing Jacinda as a cover for his alibi and clearly does not want her around Wiley or Amelia Corinthos. Michael does have full custody, and who his children are around is up to him only. Nevertheless, Michael holds full custody and possesses the authority to determine who is allowed to spend time with his children. Should Willow eventually perceive that the relationship between Michael and Jacinda is becoming serious, it could leave her feeling even more anxious. Willow has demonstrated that she can become somewhat unstable when situations do not unfold in her favor. Fans of GH will certainly remember how Willow stalked Daisy Gilmore and caused such distress to Sasha Gilmore Corbin that she felt compelled to leave town. Jason Morgan took them overseas. There's even a possibility that Willow may have actually shot Drew Kane, despite her firm claims of innocence regarding the incident. Michael could be right about how dangerous Willow has become. Michael might have a valid point regarding the potential threat posed by Willow, which raises the question, could Jacinda also be in jeopardy? There exists a possibility that Jacinda could find herself on Willow's radar as the next target, leading Willow to contemplate ways to eliminate her eventually. This could be done by coming up with a plan to get Jacinda out of Port Charles or, in a more sinister scenario, using deadly force against her. In the ever-turbulent world of General Hospital, love, rivalry, and betrayal often collide in ways that keep fans on the edge of their seats. One of the latest storylines capturing viewers' attention involves Willow Tate and her increasingly complex, dangerous interactions with Michael Corinthos and his new girlfriend, Jacinda Bracken. As the drama unfolds, it seems Willow may have reached a crossroads in her life, and Jacinda could be the next person to pay the price for crossing her. Willow Tate, a character known for her emotional volatility and capacity for vindictive action, may have come to the chilling realization that Jacinda Bracken needs to be removed from her life permanently. While Jacinda initially entered Michael's orbit under a pretense, to act as his girlfriend to support his alibi, recent developments suggest that what began as a ruse is evolving into something far more real. Genuine emotions appear to be blossoming between Michael and Jacinda, and the idea of losing Michael to someone else is something Willow simply cannot tolerate. The early interactions between Michael, Jacinda, and little Wiley Corinthos have already set the stage for mounting tension. At the Metro Court Gardens, fans could observe the trio in a rare moment of tranquility, appearing almost like a cheerful little family. To an outsider, the scene might have seemed heartwarming. But to Willow, it was nothing short of a nightmare. Watching Michael laugh, play, and bond with Jacinda and Wiley clearly struck a nerve. Willow's insecurities, already simmering under the surface, may have reached a boiling point. She knows, without a doubt, that Michael is using Jacinda primarily as a convenient cover for his alibi. And yet, seeing them together, sharing genuine joy, is likely fueling her growing fear of being replaced. The stakes are particularly high because Michael Corinthos is a man who exercises complete control over the well-being of his children. As the sole custodian of Wiley, Michael has the authority to decide who is allowed in his children's lives. While this might suggest that Jacinda's presence is technically sanctioned, it does not prevent Willow from feeling threatened. The notion of Jacinda moving from a temporary distraction to a permanent fixture in Michael's and Wiley's lives could send Willow into a dangerous spiral. After all, she has a history of extreme measures when her desires are obstructed. Viewers of General Hospital will recall how Willow has previously demonstrated obsessive tendencies. Her behavior toward Daisy Gilmore, and the subsequent distress she inflicted on Sasha Gilmore Corbin, are key examples of how she reacts when life doesn't unfold according to her plans. In those storylines, Willow's manipulations and calculated actions drove both characters to leave town, underscoring her willingness to escalate conflicts to dangerous levels. And then there's the lingering mystery surrounding Drew Kane, an incident that many fans suspect involved Willow's hand, despite her repeated claims of innocence. These past actions paint a clear picture. When Willow perceives a threat to her desires, her response can be both swift and ruthless. Given this track record, Michael might not be exaggerating when he expresses concerns about the potential danger Willow poses. If he is right, Jacinda could very well find herself in Willow's crosshairs sooner rather than later. While Willow's immediate aim may be to simply remove Jacinda from Michael's life, the methods she might employ could escalate in severity, ranging from psychological manipulation to more drastic interventions. The possibility that Jacinda could be forcibly pushed out of Port Charles, or worse, looms large, keeping fans on high alert. Jacinda herself is entering uncharted territory. Initially agreeing to act as Michael's girlfriend merely to provide an alibi, she now faces the reality that her feelings for him are becoming genuine. As Michael and Jacinda's relationship transitions from a facade to authenticity, it naturally triggers a cascade of complications. Willow, keenly observant and highly sensitive to perceived threats, is unlikely to tolerate this shift. Her growing paranoia and need for control could very easily manifest in aggressive plotting, as she attempts to preserve her influence over Michael and the dynamics surrounding his children. One can't overlook the psychological underpinnings of Willow's behavior. At her core, Willow exhibits traits of possessiveness and emotional instability when her plans or expectations are disrupted. Her attachment to Michael, and by extension to his life and children, is entwined with her identity and sense of belonging. Jacinda's emergence as a viable romantic partner represents more than just competition, it signifies a potential loss of control and status. For someone like Willow, who has historically equated love and approval with power, such a loss is intolerable. This realization may well catalyze a series of actions that place Jacinda in jeopardy, highlighting the high-stakes nature of interpersonal drama in General Hospital. Moreover, the dynamic between Michael and Willow adds another layer of complexity. Michael is acutely aware of Willow's capacity for danger, which is why he approaches her with caution. His concerns are not merely theoretical, they are grounded in observed behaviors and past experiences. For Jacinda, this means that she is not only navigating her evolving relationship with Michael but also indirectly contending with Willow's unpredictable temperament. The tension inherent in this triangle creates fertile ground for dramatic confrontations, manipulative schemes, and unexpected twists that fans have come to expect from the show. It's worth noting that Willow's potential strategies for targeting Jacinda could take multiple forms. At the psychological level, she may attempt to undermine Jacinda's credibility, creating doubt in Michael's mind about her suitability as a partner or her intentions regarding Wiley. This could involve subtle manipulations, whispered rumors, or carefully orchestrated situations designed to create friction between Jacinda and Michael. On the other hand, Willow's more extreme tendencies suggest that she might not stop at psychological warfare. There is always the lurking possibility of physical confrontation or more sinister measures, though the exact trajectory remains to be seen. The suspense surrounding Willow's intentions is compounded by the audience's awareness of her history. Fans remember that Willow's prior actions were often foreshadowed by moments of emotional instability and obsessive fixation. Her escalating jealousy, combined with a willingness to break moral or legal boundaries, establishes a credible threat to anyone perceived as an obstacle. Jacinda, in her naivety and inexperience with Willow's darker side, may not yet fully grasp the magnitude of the danger she faces. This asymmetry of knowledge amplifies the suspense, keeping viewers invested in every scene involving the three characters. At the narrative level, the evolving storyline serves multiple functions. It deepens character development for both Willow and Jacinda, highlighting their motivations, fears, and emotional vulnerabilities. It also reinforces the theme of high-stakes interpersonal drama that General Hospital thrives on, where love, rivalry, and deception intersect in unpredictable ways. For Michael, this triangle represents both a personal challenge and a paternal responsibility, as his decisions regarding Jacinda inevitably affect Wiley's well-being. The tension is multifaceted, encompassing romance, family dynamics, and the ever-present potential for conflict. Fans are left to speculate about the potential outcomes. Will Willow succeed in driving Jacinda away through manipulation alone, or will her jealousy escalate into more dangerous territory? Could Michael's awareness and protective instincts mitigate the threat, or is Jacinda's safety truly in jeopardy? The show's writers have carefully constructed the narrative to maximize suspense while remaining true to the established character traits. Every glance, whispered conversation, and calculated move is laden with meaning, keeping viewers guessing about Willow's next move and Jacinda's fate. Ultimately, the storyline underscores a timeless theme in soap opera drama, the collision of desire and danger. Willow's longing for control, Jacinda's growing affection for Michael, and Michael's efforts to balance love and responsibility converge to create a volatile mix. For Jacinda, what began as a temporary arrangement is now a complex emotional entanglement fraught with risk. For Willow, the perceived threat to her influence and aspirations is a clarion call to action. And for Michael, the challenge is to navigate these turbulent waters while protecting those he loves, particularly his children. As General Hospital continues to explore the intricate web of relationships and rivalries, viewers can expect the tension between Willow and Jacinda to escalate further. The storyline promises emotional confrontations, dramatic revelations, and possibly life-altering decisions that will reverberate across Port Charles. Whether through subtle manipulation or more overtly dangerous tactics, Willow's determination to eliminate Jacinda as a rival introduces a compelling element of suspense. Fans will undoubtedly watch closely to see how this dramatic triangle unfolds, and whether Jacinda can survive the storm that Willow is poised to unleash. In conclusion, the looming conflict between Willow Tate and Jacinda Bracken encapsulates the essence of General Hospital drama: intense emotions, unpredictable behavior, and the ever-present interplay of love and danger. Willow's jealousy and obsession with Michael and his children, coupled with Jacinda's emerging genuine feelings for Michael, set the stage for a gripping storyline that could redefine relationships in Port Charles. With Michael caught in the middle, the potential for betrayal, confrontation, and even peril is immense. As Willow contemplates her next moves, Jacinda's position grows increasingly precarious, making the question on every fan's mind: how far will Willow go to eliminate her competition, and will Jacinda survive the consequences of being in her crosshairs? In the volatile, emotionally charged world of General Hospital, the lives of Port Charles residents are rarely simple, and romantic entanglements often spiral into conflict, deception, and even danger. Among the most gripping storylines currently unfolding is the escalating tension between Willow Tate, Michael Corinthos, and Michael's new girlfriend, Jacinda Bracken. What started as a temporary, seemingly convenient arrangement has begun to develop into a full-blown emotional triangle, and fans of the show are left wondering, how far will Willow go to protect her perceived territory, and could Jacinda's safety be at risk? Willow Tate is no stranger to obsession. Over the years, her character has been defined by a complex mix of vulnerability, insecurity, and a willingness to act impulsively when she feels threatened or wronged. Her interactions with Michael and his family have always been colored by these traits, creating a volatile emotional landscape that few dare to navigate. Jacinda, a newcomer in Michael's life, represents a potential disruption of the delicate balance Willow has long maintained, both in her connection with Michael and in her indirect influence over his children. For Willow, Jacinda is not merely a rival for affection, she is a tangible threat to her sense of control, and threats of this nature rarely go unchallenged in Willow's world. Initially, Jacinda's involvement with Michael was purely circumstantial. She agreed to pose as Michael's girlfriend to help him cover an alibi, a decision made out of goodwill rather than romantic intent. However, as the days passed, it became increasingly clear that Jacinda's interactions with Michael were producing authentic emotional responses, not only from herself but also from Michael. Their connection, initially transactional, has begun to evolve into something genuinely intimate. Jacinda's growing attachment to Michael, and Michael's reciprocal feelings, has not gone unnoticed by Willow. Observing their burgeoning bond, particularly in moments with wily Corinthos, has undoubtedly stoked feelings of jealousy, insecurity, and fear in Willow. A pivotal moment highlighting this dynamic occurred at the Metro Court Gardens, where Michael, Jacinda, and Wiley were seen enjoying a rare moment of family-like joy. To outsiders, the scene may have seemed heartwarming, a glimpse of serenity amid the chaos that so often defines Port Charles' life. But for Willow, this sight was a catalyst for growing paranoia. The laughter, the shared smiles, and the visible affection between Jacinda and Michael signaled a shift in power dynamics that Willow was not prepared to accept. The realization that Jacinda could move beyond a temporary ally to become a permanent fixture in Michael's life, and by extension, in Wiley's life, likely ignited a dangerous spark within Willow. Willow's psychological landscape is central to understanding the stakes in this storyline. She has repeatedly demonstrated that when her plans are thwarted or when she perceives a threat to her desires, her responses can range from obsessive surveillance to extreme manipulation. Fans of General Hospital remember her fixation on Daisy Gilmore, which led to significant distress and eventual exile for Daisy and Sasha Gilmore Corbin. There were also moments in which Willow's actions toward Drew Kane left the audience questioning whether she was capable of crossing lines even she had previously sworn to respect. These past behaviors illuminate a pattern. Willow's capacity for escalation is significant, and her moral compass is often flexible when she believes that the stakes justify her actions. The threat to Jacinda is compounded by Michael's own cautiousness. He is acutely aware of Willow's potential volatility and has historically treated her with a careful mixture of assertiveness and distance. While he is devoted to protecting his children and managing the responsibilities that come with full custody of Wiley, Michael also understands that navigating Willow's psychological minefield requires strategy. Unfortunately for Jacinda, this creates a precarious situation. She is now caught in a triangle where the protective instincts of one person may not fully shield her from the obsessive tendencies of another. Willow's potential strategies for undermining Jacinda are multifaceted. At a psychological level, she may attempt to erode Jacinda's relationship with Michael through subtle manipulations. This could include whispering doubts about Jacinda's intentions, engineering situations to make Jacinda appear unreliable, or creating misunderstandings that foster tension between the couple. Willow has demonstrated a remarkable ability to exploit the emotional vulnerabilities of those around her, using charm, feigned concern, or intimidation as needed. For Jacinda, these tactics could represent an insidious, almost invisible threat, making her second-guess her place in Michael's life and potentially sowing discord without immediate detection. However, Willow's tendencies are not limited to psychological warfare. There remains a legitimate concern that she could escalate her actions to more overt and dangerous measures. Historically, Willow has not shied away from extreme steps when she perceives that her personal stakes are too high. If she concludes that Jacinda is moving from a temporary ally to a permanent competitor, the possibility of physical confrontation, threats, or even attempts to remove Jacinda from Port Charles entirely cannot be dismissed. This looming potential adds a palpable tension to every interaction between the three characters, keeping audiences on edge and invested in every developing scene. From Jacinda's perspective, the situation is equally complex. She initially entered the relationship with Michael under the understanding that it was a temporary, strategic move. As her feelings evolve, however, she may find herself unprepared for the intensity of the personal dynamics surrounding her. Unlike Michael, Jacinda does not have a history with Willow, and she may not fully comprehend the depth of Willow's capacity for manipulation or obsession. This asymmetry of knowledge increases the danger she faces, highlighting the tension inherent in the storyline and reinforcing the high stakes for viewers. The narrative tension is further intensified by the role of Wiley Corinthos. As Michael's child and the focal point of his custodial authority, Wiley's presence adds layers of complexity to the triangle. Willow's awareness of Michael's parental responsibilities may inform her actions, as she could perceive Jacinda's growing closeness to Wiley as a direct challenge to her own influence and position. This element underscores the multifaceted nature of Willow's potential threat. It is not merely romantic but also psychological, social, and familial. Historically, General Hospital has excelled at crafting storylines in which emotional stakes intersect with moral ambiguity. Willow's evolving vendetta against Jacinda is a prime example. On one hand, Willow's feelings are understandable. She fears being replaced, overlooked, and marginalized. On the other hand, her methods and willingness to act destructively place her squarely in the role of antagonist, at least from Jacinda's perspective. This duality is a hallmark of compelling soap opera drama. Characters are rarely purely good or evil, and motivations are complex,